Good morning, everybody. This is Talina. I am doing a ride along with me video. I just headed over to Barnes & Noble. It's a Sunday. I was hoping to do a double down yesterday and today to just get extra writing in, but yesterday just kind of turned into chores, and I don't know what I was doing other than chores. I was just avoiding writing for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because also being at home with the kids and distractions, like if they're on phone calls with their friends or they're playing games, we're sharing the same office, so it's hard for me to focus or concentrate to do any kind of writing. So that's why I decided that if I'm going to do this, I have to get out of the house, and I can't always force my family to leave the house so I can be at home to write. So I made the adventure today to come to Barnes & Noble. I made the mistake of leaving too early, but that's okay. I had a little breakfast in the car and waiting. It's 9:44 now. I've been here since 9:30 waiting for them to open, I believe at 10. So I'm going to rush in there, get a nice seat, and find an outlet to get power, and hopefully get some writing done. Now that I'm done plotting book one, I have all the pieces that will help me to kind of put the story together. Pretty much have Act 1 done. I have to write Act 2 and 3, and there's going to be a little bit of filler in Act 1 of some missing pieces to juice up the book, because the way I was writing it episodically, it wasn't enough for me to transition back to writing it in a novel form, which is what I'm doing. So now I'm going to have a trilogy novel form of the Willow Sisters, at least for now. And yeah, basically going to fill up Act 1 to be a little bit more content, adding some bad guy background and extra beef in there. And then then I'm on the go for Act 2 and 3, which is completely plotted but not written at all. So that's my goal, is to focus on getting Act 1 done, and if I'm lucky, I'll break into 2 today, but we'll see how it goes and how it flows. And I have my outline, I should say my index cards from my plotting board. I pulled them down. My goal is to actually write them again so that I have on-the-go cards, and then the ones that I just leave on the board, because it's kind of like a little irritating to have to take them off, put them down, risk losing them for the vision board at home. So I'm probably going to maybe include that today. Oh, I forgot the cards at home, but I could do that later, where I'm just going to duplicate the cards so I have 2 pairs of index cards to be portable with. And the other thing is, I really don't need the index cards, because technically maybe I should do this instead, save the trees for today, is just put it in my Notion and my Scrivener, where it's just, I take the time to get it in there. But I keep doing this thing where I'm like trying to learn Notion, and I'm trying to do plot inside my Scrivener, and I'm plotting on a board at home, and I'm trying to set up Word, and I've got all these different things to try to feel out what works for me, and then having other options on different devices when I'm not at home, or I don't have my one computer and I want to do it from a phone, or another little computer that I have. So I'm trying to feel things around and like try to find what feels good for me. But the problem is I'm letting that distract me. Like yesterday I did all that stuff, regular house chores, organizing, and then I was taking a Spanish lesson. I'm doing Spanish course right now, and just doing everything I can on my Notion, and watching YouTube, and signing up for I'm going to be doing the alumni Publish and Thrive again this August. So that wasn't on my Kanban board. I didn't even think about that, but I think it's important that I do that. So I'm going to add that to my to-do list, which is going to be another thing that is going to help me with publishing my first book in this series, just to give me a quick refresher. And then I'll spend Saturdays jumping online with Sarah and her group over at Publish and Thrive, and really just get myself ready for launching this first book. So I'm excited, and hopefully today is going to be a good writing day and everything flows, and I'll bring you behind the scenes. I'm trying to use my phone and also my other camera. I'm not sure if the battery's going to last, because I didn't think to charge it yesterday or bring a spare battery, but if I have an outlet, maybe I'll be okay. Either way, I'm going to try to give you guys good content, quality content with good cameras, and let you know how the writing process goes today. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. All right, little sidetrack. I couldn't go into Barnes and Noble's because it didn't open at 10. It opens at 11, and the one I was originally going to opened at 10, but it was really far away, and I was going there to meet some other writers. However, I was contemplating, I don't want to spend 38 minutes driving there and 38 minutes driving back when I could spend that time writing, and then made the decision to go to another Barnes and Noble just to be by myself. And it turns out they don't open until 11. So I'm not letting that get me down. I went to a local Starbucks nearby that's just like a standalone Starbucks. You can't even tell it's a Starbucks. There's no sign. But they just had like a sign on the side of the road, kind of entrance Starbucks thing. So I found it and I went inside. I had to use the restroom. I picked a nice little spot in there, and it was pretty empty when I first got in there. And I got a little coffee and I sat down and started writing. I probably want to say I got about a 20-minute sprint, but spent a lot of time kind of rereading the scene because I was adding to a scene that I just started yesterday or 2 days ago actually. So I had to kind of revisit the scene and revised a few things that I didn't like and just adding to it. And I'm still not done with that scene. This is the bad guy scene where I'm introducing like their secret headquarters. So I'm trying to really perfect what I want it to look like, what's going on inside of it, secret stuff, just getting our feet wet in the first scene. So yeah, I'm trying to pull back a little. I don't want to give too much away of like secret stuff, so that it'll fill in, you know, the whole book one throughout act 2. Maybe I'll reveal a little more. So yeah, that's what I worked on in there. It was a little distracting. There were some not so nice people who came in as customers, and we're just not nice today. I don't know, something going on in the stars. One guy was coming in asking for change, and I thought he was going to blow the place up because they wouldn't give him change. And I know the feeling, like everyone's like, oh, this guy's crazy. But nobody knows what's going on in that person's life. Like I had a similar situation where I went into Publix for my crafting event and I needed change desperately, and I don't have a bank where I can just go in. I have like an online bank right now, and I don't have access to get change freely, and I completely forgot to do that ahead of time, which is my fault. However, I was rushing to my event. I was asking Publix to give me change because I've always done that in the past and they've never had any issues. And then all of a sudden that day they were like, no, we're not giving you change. We don't have change. And I'm like, yeah, right. So basically this guy was going through the same thing. He was having a crisis meltdown that they wouldn't give him change that he knew they had. And they do have it, but they have strict rules about that. So it was very distracting. It probably took away at least 5 minutes of my writing because I was concerned if we were all going to get killed over change. But luckily he just said thank you and walked out, and it was all good. And there was another 1 or 2 people that came in that were just kind of rude. So I am eager to get out of that Starbucks. It was not pleasant. There were some very nice people that came in after that. But yeah, I'm heading back over to the Barnes & Noble across the street. It's a quick, I can literally see it from here across the street. So I'm heading back over there. Hopefully the doors are open. I'm going to go grab a spot inside and begin to finish this scene and see how it goes. All right, guys, see you there. I survived Starbucks, and now I'm back in the parking lot getting ready to go inside of the Barnes & Noble, and really just contemplating right now. I've already bought the coffee at Starbucks. I guess I can buy a water inside the Barnes & Noble Starbucks because it's polite, you know. I don't want to just go in there and sit without buying anything. So I'm going to go do that, order some water, sit down, and try to write. It is hot out here. Can't wait to get in the shade. Sun is vibing. Some heat waves. Good morning. I wanted to mention I'm so tempted to get like something bad. I already ate a bad breakfast, so I'm already off to a bad start. So my goal is to be good for the rest of the day. No cookies, no cakes, no nothing in Starbucks. Just water, writing, and leave. And maybe check out some books before I go. And pretend my book is on the shelf. I made it back home. I was probably at the Barnes and Nobles for about 2 hours, writing and reading about half and half of the time there. So I did get a lot done. I got about 1,405 words in, plus a couple tweaks of revisions here and there that I didn't count. But I updated my Rough Draft Challenge count for the day, and came home to a sick child who's got the cough and the germs, so just sitting with him on the couch. Can I say hi? Say hi.
Hi.
And just wrapping up the video for you guys. So I had a good day at the Barnes and Noble. Oh man, I'm getting sick next. Watch. No, vitamin C. I'll be okay, right? Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little drive with me adventure to Barnes and Nobles, and yeah, good word count today. I'll probably try to do a word count, another sprint tonight, so we'll see how it goes. But that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll check in with you on my progress on the next video. Until then, keep writing.